Hello! Last time I solved, I think, every obvious mystery in the game. Obvious mystery is a bit better to put it. I have solved, I think, a whole class of mysteries. If there are any other secrets, I don't know about them. Was this where I saved? Okay, I may have loaded the save at some point. I don't remember. When I load a save, I try to make it the copy. In any case, I have three pyramidions or pyramidia left, and I think that's cool. I've thought about them a lot during the week. This was not the first one that I came up with an idea for, but I would like to start with this one because the other two are in Eastern Shoal. Now, I thought a lot about this one. I considered I was thinking about all the different ways you could interpret the symbols to be in order. Really, I should have my phone capture up. What about all the ways you could interpret symbols for an order, and there was nothing consistent. So I couldn't think of a way to walk a path from one map to the other map that would make sense. And so I then started thinking about, okay, can I interpret these symbols as any kind of objects in the world? And I thought, well, okay, there's one that I can interpret as an object in the world, and that's the triangle, because I can interpret that as stairs. Like if you had stairs going downwards, and if I just go over to the screen which has the triangle, I really should have my notes up. I've completely forgot to prepare that, so I'm also doing that while I'm talking. Well, I did my reasoning offline, so yes, I'm going to explain my reasoning. Because, I mean, if I just jump to what I think is the solution, you don't understand how I got there. So, I thought about this screen, and yes, you would come down some stairs coming from this screen, so maybe the triangle represents stairs. But then I really struggled to assign. No, I've actually done the Frozen Peak A1 puzzle. I quite like the solution to that. The real difficulty for me was deciding that the rune meant myself, specifically me. Although it could be any person, but I think it's specifically me. And once I had that, it wasn't too long. I first off considered, okay, am I meant to enter U, Y-O-U? Am I meant to enter God? Am I meant to enter man? But no, it wasn't far from that to consider. Wait a minute, I have a name. I've entered a name for the game. And my name happens to be 3 letters long, so there was no ambiguity about which part of it I put in. A bit lucky in that regard. I've actually got my notes up now, finally. Capture them? Yeah, I can capture them. Oh yeah. Oh, I guess it does say enter file name when you prompt it, but I think it's a very good. I think it's a very good puzzle. Possibly there could have been some more indications around the world that the rune means you. Because if you remember, for a long time, my interpretation of the rune was that it was probably a meant sky. But that was actually partly based on the old Frozen Spire A1 puzzle, which had the rune below it, almost looked like part of the nests for the birds. And I now know in retrospect that that is actually showing you standing next to a bird, but despite feeling like it was a bit difficult to determine that, I think it was a good puzzle. There weren't really any significant red herrings, and it was definitely the best answer I came up with, but I wasn't 100% confident in it. Anyway, these shapes, I was not able to really determine that any of the rest of them, except for the one in C3, represented anything in the world. One in C3 looks rather like the symbol on the side of a bomb crate. And I especially couldn't think of any verbs that I could perform in E2, because you can only enter E2 from one direction. Just get there, and all you can really do in this is push a wall or jump in the lava. I kept telling myself, I thought so. While I was mulling this over, I didn't have the symbols in front of me. The puzzle was just living rent free in my mind. While I was mulling this over, I thought, well, what even is this symbol? What is this meant to be? A flag? But then I had to stop. I had to stop and think for a second. I actually do have another verb. Press A to add flag. And oh look, they've all got different shapes. And the yellow one is the correct shape for E2. Let me just try to find the right ones. A bit hard to see, to be honest. There you go, that's the one that looks like the side of a bomb crate. We have a triangle, the green triangle. We have this ragged, blackish. That purple or black? I'm going to call it black. Flag. In any case, they're all the shapes of these flags. And I expected to use them more in the course of my playthrough, but I never ended up relying on them much, partly because I have notes on my phone and I think those are the 6 flags set up according to the 2 parts of the map. So let's see if that solves the puzzle. I am 98% certain it will. That's a very good puzzle. I like when you have. I like the lateral thinking, coming up with an entirely new verb that you would not normally think about as a puzzle tool. I do think that should be worth more than 1 Pyramidion, though. But there were only 3 left in the game, so it's fine that it's only worth 1. Well, I assume it's only worth 1. I should go to the other side of the map and check that I'm not getting a second. No. Okay. That's really my only complaint about the puzzle. It should be worth 2 Pyramidia. I wasn't going to ask for a hint, but that would have been cute, and I would not have realised the significance. I do actually use the flags a little, I just never remember to check for them because I've actually been keeping on top of my notes and haven't been forgetting things. I'm just hopping over to Serpent Stacks briefly because I wanted to show something that I was very slow in realising. I commented on this shape and I said that it looks a bit like the sea, but when I was looking at the screen again for another puzzle, I realised this is actually the shape of a heart. I had noticed before these arteries or veins in the ground, but that makes a lot of sense. This is the heart of the snake god. And that was all I wanted to show in Serpent Stacks. So, on to Eastern Shoal. And yeah, 4 for 1 in Serpent Stacks is it 4 for 1? Yeah, it really was 4, wasn't it? I mean, they were each puzzles, but yeah, I don't think it was worth 4. I think Sanctum was fairly well balanced at being a 2 Pyramidia puzzle. Now, I have had thoughts about both of the remaining puzzles in Eastern Shoal, and I do not like my thoughts about this puzzle. However, I absolutely loved the right-hand side of this screen. Amazing puzzle. So I've tried things with it on this screen. I've tried. I've still got my notes up, but that's fine. I want my notes anyway. So I've tried relating it to Raging Volcano B0 in a few ways. We've got let's zoom in just a bit more. We we have a few features that correspond to places we can put things on this map. We have the rune up here, and the rune is where is it? Here. Walking over it. This screen. And we have the steam rising, which is here on this screen. We have a fire. I actually think I know how to draw a fire now, so let's have a go. I really have almost no drawing skills. I had to learn how to draw a flame. So see if I can do it. Oh, not in that colour. Put in black, please, and to make it somewhat and a bit thinner. So I think the way you draw a flame is something like that. Not very good. Let's try that again. Really? Did the phone capture crash? The phone capture crashed. Okay, let me just restart the phone capture. That doesn't happen too often, but it does happen more than I would like. No, that didn't work. Sorry, technical difficulties. There we go, that's active. There we go, that's my attempt at drawing a flame there. You missed the process, but wait a minute. What's going on? That was... Sorry, my capture's broken again. There we go. Yeah, that's my attempt at drawing a flame. I know that's nothing very impressive for most people, but I really have no drawing skills. So, we have the rune. Oh, sorry, marker mode. We have the rune. We have steam. We have a flame. Tree trunk. The tree trunk only looks decent because I was drawing it with quite close reference to the sprite. We have a little vent up here. And those are the only features that I considered notable. Now, I tried a water elemental where the steam is, an earth elemental where the tree trunk is, obviously a fire elemental with the fire, that one's certain. There is no way that would be anything else. And I tried an air elemental at the vent. That was one of my possible solutions. Another one was I tried an air elemental at the steam and I killed the water elemental. There was also actually one more feature I forgot. There's one more feature which is notable on this. which is the music note. The music note. Why am I in editing mode? What am I doing? The music note. I also tried putting the air elemental there because an air elemental for music makes sense. It's sound. Now, I honestly have not been happy with anything except these three, and that's because they're all unique elements on the screen. They're all on clear tiles in Eastern Shoal, and they're also all marked with seaweed. So the event is marked with seaweed, although it's not a unique feature. This seaweed, this seaweed is inside a wall. That would be somewhere like here. And is that where that is? No, it's not there. It's here. And we have another unique feature up here. But I can't really determine that. It is a fossil. There's not really anything obvious to do with that. So these were always the candidate spots for me. Now, I did have two more thoughts about what to do here, which were I can make the water elemental mimic the crate, the wooden crate, and therefore it would represent wood for the tree trunk, or I could have the water elemental mimic a cloud, and water mimicking a cloud representing steam. Now, each of these has a problem. If I mimic the cloud, then I actually need to do a lot of manipulation. Let me just go and see if I can show you what I mean. But the problems really start once you've cloned the cloud, because okay, you can only really clone a cloud here. You definitely can't get one of the clouds out into the left area. It's not possible. They're always stuck up against a wall, no matter what you do. So this is the furthest you can get a cloud. So once you've done this, you're going to need to push a cloud transformed water elemental left. Well, that part's fine. you could be using the fire elemental to stop it, and you can push it down and have the wind elemental move it to the right to get to this location, but then you have a bit of a problem trying to get the earth elemental here. The earth elemental always ends up being the biggest issue. You could use the fire elemental to stop it, but then you can't get the fire elemental out because the earth elemental is blocking the entrance. You can use a fire elemental here to block the cloud. That's probably the best thing. Let's have a go at that. Just trying to see what I don't want you in place yet. Just move you out of the way. Wait, I need you here for now. Stone elemental can go over there in a moment. Just a minute. No, I need to move you up. Wait a second. Okay, now I need to break that crystal again first. As you can see, this is very awkward. Oh. Very awkward. That's not. Wait a minute. This is fine. I need to. This. Then. I'm going to want you. I'm going to want you here. There will be a problem with this, I think. This is not my best idea. Wait, now what? Yes, but now I need to get the fire elemental down here. How? So I need to keep the stone elemental in this column, don't I? Maybe it would actually be best if I destroyed that crate. Okay, yes, that should be good. does that immediately help me though? It immediately helps me by doing this. No, that's not okay, is it? No, wait, maybe it is. I need to... Ah, but then I can't get this out. Right, that's the problem. That's what I was failing to remember. Yeah. No, wait a minute, you can get it out. Right, yes, this is the problem. You don't have any way to stop the stone elemental on this tile without using the fire elemental. Just a minute. That means that I messed up when I got the stone elemental in a different column after this move. If the stone elemental, even if the stone elemental was in this column, it would destroy the cloud elemental when pushed into it, and the fire elemental definitely goes here. So there isn't any solution which has a mimicked cloud elemental. So, solutions with mimicked wooden crate. Obviously, a wooden crate is a very good fit for this tile. It does mean that an air elemental will have to represent steam, which I'm not terribly keen on. There actually isn't a lot of manipulation to do for this. The problem is that we have nothing to do with the earth elemental. And as you can see, this is not considered a solution. I mean, I didn't particularly expect it to be. There is one more thing we can do, which we can destroy the earth elemental. Since that wasn't involved in the solution, and destroying things that are not part of the solution has sometimes been a puzzle element. For example, the statues puzzle in Raging Volcano, but as expected, no. Now, I guess that if we really want to be thorough, we also should destroy the wooden crate. The original. I do have one more idea for this, and I do not like it. So, as expected, that did nothing. My one idea and I really hate this, is that this tile is also marked with seaweed. Now, the reason I hate this is if this is correct, if that tile is marking a rock and is saying the earth elemental goes there, I hate it, because there are 3 seaweed tiles over here that are not used in the puzzle, if that's the case. And there are lots of rocks on the screen. Unlike these 3, it is not a unique element. I have a horrible feeling that it is, however, going to be the solution. We're going to find out. Stop mimicking. Great, so that you won't die. The manipulations to achieve this should be quite easy. Oh, they turn back to water elementals, do they? I don't remember that behaviour, but that makes sense. That happens a lot with when other things are damaged. Please don't let this be... I mean, I sort of want this to be the solution, but I mostly don't, because... just a rock. It's just a rock, and there is other seaweed. The game is wrong. The game is wrong. This is not a well-considered puzzle. Now go ahead, argue for this puzzle. I'm willing to hear it out. I do not want to hate this puzzle. They're unique elements on the Raging Volcano screen, which are in positions that are accessible. They're also marked by seaweed on this screen. Mind you, there is other seaweed on this screen. Really, you don't think that's the basis? Okay, what do you think the basis is? Well, yes, obviously a fire elemental is made of fire. Steam, by the way, is made of water, so it is not an air elemental. Yes, the crate is wood. I agree that wood is a good bit for this. I'm not disagreeing with the composition of any of these. I'm mostly disagreeing with the presence of these 3 spots of seaweed. It's made of stone. I do not disagree that the elementals are any of the except the air elemental. I do not disagree with any of these elementals representing those tiles. I disagree with 3 out of 4 of the tiles being unique on the Raging Volcano screen, and these 3 seaweed spots existing. And I'm actually going to go back to Raging Volcano just to show, like, if it's been an unusual rock in some way, I would be okay with it. Okay, now I definitely disagree with that rock being marked in Raging Volcano. I know what you mean, and that's why I'm going back to the screen. But I disagree. Now, yes, the ground under it is different, but look at every other rock on the screen. Well, not these ones, not this 3x3 up in the corner. Well, not every other rock, but most of them are on the same type of ground. Oh, it doesn't stand out. It's on the same type of ground as this, same type of ground as this, same type of ground as this. All of these rocks are on this type of ground, except for these ones near the edge of the screen and this 3x3 arrangement up here. If they'd used a unique rock sprite for this tile or something like that, I think the puzzle would be quite good, but I do not like it as it is. I mean, this game has a pretty good record. I have liked almost all of the puzzles, and I'm going to mostly, I think, like the one remaining puzzle. Mostly, it depends. What do you mean I took the wrong lesson from these 2 screens? The lesson was match some elements of the screen to the other element, and it tells you, or at least tries to communicate, which elements of the screen you're matching on a tile like this tile showing 2 boxes. Oh no, this the puzzle over here is definitely an inversion of the normal logic, because this I'm not going to be talking about my ideas for B0 yet, but this puzzle I definitely consider to be an inversion of logic, because you compare it to the referenced screen, and except for being rotated, everything is already in the correct place. So you determine, okay, based on that, there should be a bell here, which would let you walk through here, and ring another bell here to open these and get behind the arrow block. So you're not matching the screen in this, you're not making the screen match. In this case, it already matches and you're using that information. I am, however, going to start talking about my idea for this screen in a moment. In fact, I'm going to be talking about some failed ideas first. This one took me the longest. Okay, so, unlike the other screens, this one has no rune on it. The only hint on this screen is this tile. Now, I really searched the game quite hard for any tile which looks like this arrangement. I spent so long searching the game that here's what I did. I stitched every screen of the game into a giant map so that I could peruse it without actually visiting the screens over and over through half of this week. And here is that map. Here we are. Is the rest of Eastern Shoal. The tile kind of looks like it could be representing something from Serpent stacks. So I looked through all of Serpent stacks as a priority, but this arrangement did not exist in any form. There were some close arrangements, but nothing quite like this. Nothing quite like this, including rotated and flipped versions. There was nothing like that in Serpent stacks. There was nothing like that in any of the 4 main islands. There was nothing like that on Ancient Island. There was nothing like that in Sanctum. There was nothing like that in Ancient Caverns. There was nothing like that in Stony Cavern. There was nothing like that on any of the 4 Bell Islands. There was nothing like that in the little lobby area for Frozen Spire. There was nothing like that in Forgotten Lagoon. There was nothing like that in wherever I put Locked Key. Here we are. There was nothing, and there was nothing like that in Star Tropic. Nothing like that in Lost Landing. Nothing like that in some. Wait a minute. What's this? That's not. Oh, that's Eastern Shoal again. There's nothing like that in Beast Ridge. There was nothing like that anywhere in the game, and it took me a very long time to determine that. Now, I'd also been considering interpretations of this as a this is not the game capture, by the way, this is another image. I'd also been considering interpretations of that as a single screen puzzle. Now, you can't really do exactly what it says. You can't also have a clear area a little bit above the corner. It doesn't work out, mostly because of the rightmost area. Just trust me, it's impossible. This was one a solution attempt I tried. This was another. And this was another. I did those offline because I thought there is absolutely no chance that that is going to be right, and if it is right, it's not interesting enough that it's a problem to try it offline. So it was none of those. However, while I was looking at the map, I did think about something else. Because I had finally exhausted everything I could think of for that tile, that one tile. This stupid tile, which I currently hate. I hate this tile. I wish it didn't exist. Because I came up with an idea that has nothing to do with that tile. And I would have come up with it much earlier if that hint was not there. I don't strictly know what that hint means yet, but it was mostly a red herring for me. Because it occurred to me, I technically have not got a hidden pyramidion yet from matching this wind rune to anything. So I thought, what if we're not actually done with the wind rune yet? Does this screen look at all like this screen if this is going to be a bit janky? Give me a moment. Does it look at all like this screen if we rotated it 90 degrees? And, well, there's a star. There used to be a star right in line with the entrance, and there's a rock a little way in. I think the answer is... And also that little raised platform is right where the stairs were. So, yes, I think that this is the other half of the same puzzle. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Frozen Spire. And I really like it if it's part of the, if that's what this is, if it really is a reference to that the next screen on Frozen Spire. But I really dislike that one tile, which, here's the thing, you walk into that screen and you don't see a room, you don't know what it's referencing, but you do see one hint, you see that tile with that pattern on it. So you think, okay, that pattern must be talking about what I'm meant to be referencing. And then you spend the rest of your life trying to work out what it has to do with that. What screen even is this? This screen? No? So bad at telling where I am on. Yeah, it must be here. No. But it isn't here. Is it? It's here. Okay. So we walk onto this screen, and it's notes time. So we're going to be continuing the notes. First off, we're going to draw a long dotted line orthogonal line dotted, not in green. Star goes here. Zoom in a bit so that I can draw that a bit less messily. It did not actually turn out much less messy. Oh dear, drawing a star is apparently difficult. Nah, better. And we have over here rock. How many tiles is this after the ladder? All that 4 tiles, there's only a half tile after that. Four tiles here before another ladder. And I don't know how you draw a bird, to be honest. I really don't know how you draw a bird. Not going to try. Again, I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying again. Most of the essential features done. We also have a 4-tile ladder here. which leads into an invisible path. Well, I mean, it's hidden in the clouds. This may be a ladder tile, I can't tell. So it goes a very long way over here. We're definitely not going to need to go that far, so let's just draw it off into the distance. And there are no tiles. Okay, that's the shape of this screen. Now, let's go back to Eastern Shoal. Bearing in mind that's rotated 90 degrees clockwise, which actually do for you. I'm going to. I mean, I guess I can turn my actual phone on its side if I want to do that. So we have here. I don't know which side we want to approach it from. All of this is going to be blocked out off, as is this. See, maybe a bit of an issue here. No, wait a minute. Okay, let's approach this from the other side. So the first 6 tiles here are all blocked off, all of those. Wait, is that right? No, 6 tiles includes okay, if this rock is a reference, then and I'm currently on the 2nd row already. Okay. So those tiles would be blocked off. No, that one is not. Let's see. 5 tiles north of the star. Well, we can't go 5 tiles north of the star. So let's add a dotted line for the area that is not relevant. But 3 tiles north of the star, everything irrelevant, tiles. Also Okay, so that's the relevant area. And we've got one tile missing from that, but it's just going to be a continuation of the same path on the next screen. And this back on its side. Me. Do we want to do this? I mean, I may have already messed up, to be honest. Well, let's just keep going for now. That's not right. Okay, I mean that's most of it. We need to get this one involved somehow. We need to get, what about this one? I guess we can do this. Except that we need to step onto here, do that. And yeah. Okay. So I really like having to think of this as a continuation of the previous puzzle. I really like that. This hint right here, the one that I'm standing in front of, that hint is worse than useless. Worse than useless. It is an active red herring. Yes, obviously you have to make part of this screen mirror the other screen. But here's the problem. Because you walk into this screen and your initial confusion is, what screen is this even meant to be referencing? That's what you're going to latch onto that tile for. This puzzle would be significantly easier without that tile there. And I think I'm going to be complaining about that to the developer at the same time as I make my bug reports, of which I have a few. No, I think it's brilliant that this puzzle spans 2 screens. Because the rule of Eastern Shoal has been that every screen references one screen, except suddenly on D1 that's no longer the case. You've got a reference to Raging Volcano and Frozen Spire. That's weird, and you think, why is this, and what could this screen be a reference to? Except it's not each screen, it's split into regions. And there's something good they did. They put this grid reference right at the border of B0 and B1. And also the room is really close to the screen transition. I think that those are pretty good hints that it's actually a 2-screen puzzle. I think this puzzle would be extremely good if not for the way the hinting is handled. But anyway, I think that's every Pyramidion. probably every meteorite, and for a while now I've had every star. So let's see what happens if we finish the game. There may be other secrets. I don't know about them. Maybe I'll find them either while doing bug hunting. I need to reproduce some of my bugs. Or I'll find them when another content update drops. And the mysterious update, if I'm right, that that covers the Serpent Crown, therefore probably a lot of Serpent stacks itself, all Pyramidions, and the meteorites. That was actually a lot of content. Although it's numerically less puzzles than the base game, I would say that it's as much puzzling content, if not more. And I am very much looking forward to a future update, although, given the way that all the post-release updates have been for the mysterious update, I will be waiting 2 to 3 months after any future content update before playing it, because I would prefer not to be beta testing it. Now, are we going to get anything new in the ending? We could potentially be getting 2 new things at once. There's 1 of 3 now. That's a bit better than 1 of 2. I'm personally expecting that we're only getting something extra for the meteorite. Sorry, for the pyramidia. And probably nothing extra for the meteorites. Although maybe there's a 5th meteorite that I don't know about. 4 is a slightly strange number. Honestly, I would skip this segment if I knew how. It takes a little while. And I know it's the end of the game, but this is the third time that I'm rolling credits. It's alive! It's alive! Didn't do a very good delivery on that. Okay, so now what? Okay, so the Pyramidia were basically for humanity's mind. Gave them intelligence. I don't know when, if ever, more content is planned for this game. Like I say, I plan to stream anything new, although after a delay. As it reach version 3.4 or 3.5. Despite some small issues, and they really are relatively small, I think that I am going to become a fairly big advocate for this game going forward. I haven't heard nearly enough positive words about Isles of Sea and Sky. This really is something very unusual in the Zuckerman space. And a number of the puzzles are quite inspired. I think there are a couple of bad ones in there, but and there are a few issues with the hinting, as I've just expressed with Eastern Shoal B0, which I think is an excellent puzzle except for a big red herring, which isn't even that useful. You obviously only have one thing to interact with. You are going to be making the ground reflect a path or something like that. Obviously. What else would you be doing with it? That's not the part that needs a hint, if anything, and the rest of it should not have a hint because that's the entire point of the puzzle. And 4 meteorites may or may not be all of the secrets. If there are more secrets, I guess I'll discover them when it's time to stream this game again. It is funny that I still don't have a cape or a crown on the title screen. Anyway, that was Isles of Sea and Sky. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do in terms of this. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do about the next casual stream. Next casual playthrough might be Eldritch Mania, which very Lana inspired. Been meaning to play that for a while, but I have some other things lined up, and I have that one Tunic stream still to do, but I have a lot of preparation left for that. So there'll probably be a break in casual playthroughs. I might actually run some challenges in parallel in addition to completing Wings of Bee in Demon mode with all flawless bosses and stuff. Anyway, goodbye. That will do for today. I know it was a fairly short stream, but I had done most of the puzzle solving offline after all.